The director of Kick-Ass takes on X-Men. Here we go. X-Men First Class. Now, I personally love the first two X-Men movies. I mean, they were great. They were intriguing. They were good personal stories, as well as exciting action movies. X-Men 3 and X-Men Origins Wolverine? No. So two good X-Men movies, two crappy X-Men movies. X-Men First Class is going to tip the scale, one way or the other. So X-Men First Class is like the genesis of the X-Men movies. It's how Charles Xavier met Magneto, Magneto met Charles Xavier, delves into a lot more of Magneto's past, which is really cool, because you know that first shot in the first X-Men movie, where Magneto's a little kid and his mom gets taken away and he freaks out and he bends the gate? That scene is in this movie, like almost shot for shot. So right there, I was like, all right, this is a prequel to the first movie. Straight up. So now Magneto, before he was Magneto, Eric Lencher, he's on a quest for revenge. He wants to kill Kevin Bacon, but I love Footloose. Let's dance! And then we see Charles Xavier, which is really funny to see because he's this really smart guy, but he's a lot younger in this one, so he's out drinking and having a good time. It was really cool to see Professor X, like in his youth. Michael Fassbender was really good as Eric Lencher, that's for sure. But I can't say he stole the show because James McAvoy was just as good as Charles Xavier. It's like a team effort yin and yang thing they have going on. That's how it should be. And it's cool to see Charles Xavier and Eric Lencher have this friendship, but you know Eric Lencher first and foremost is on his quest for revenge, and of course Xavier wants to talk him out of it, and it's good. And Kevin Bacon as Sebastian Shaw. Kevin Bacon was awesome in this movie. Now he's no stranger to being a bad guy, but it's almost like he's a joke. You know, like Chuck Norris jokes and then 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon in this movie is like, yeah, 6 Degrees of this. I'm a badass villain. Screw you guys. Let's dance! And it takes place in the 60s, so there's a threat of the Cuban Missile Crisis, all sorts of stuff, which is nuclear holocaust and, you know, death. The stakes have never been higher before there were any other stakes because it's a prequel. And it's up to Professor Xavier to put together a team that's going to save the world. Yeah, we don't want him to fail. All right, honestly speaking, X-Men First Class, it was okay. I can't even keep a straight face. It was actually really awesome. X-Men First Class reminded me why I liked the first two so much. Because it's such a personal story with the main characters, but it's also a really exciting movie. It's like everything you want in a summer movie. Cool action, cool characters, cool dialogue too. Like Xavier is actually kind of funny at times. I'd never really seen that side of him. That was awesome. And speaking of action, there's this villain in this movie named Azazel. This guy is hardcore. He's doing stuff like hitting guys and then teleporting behind him and hitting him in the air. I mean, choosing to fight Azazel is like choosing to fight Scorpion in Mortal Kombat when he's being controlled by a Japanese kid. Just don't do it, you're gonna lose. Guy was hardcore. Guy was badass. Now, as much as they keep this movie in line to be a prequel to the X-Men movies, honestly not counting Wolverine and X-Men 3, like there is no way it can tie to X-Men Origins or X-Men 3. You know that scene in the beginning of X-Men 3 when Xavier and Magneto go up to Jean's doorstep? Probably not happening. But there are some discrepancies with this movie and the first two movies too. But all in all, good acting, good script, good direction, good characters, and good action. I really don't know what I was expecting going into X-Men First Class, but I'd like to think that it's this. In fact, I think I actually like this movie more than Thor, and I really like Thor. And it's happening. X-Men First Class is Awesometacular. I have given away more Awesometaculars in the last month than like all of last year. Feels like that anyway. So what are your favorite X-Men movies? Did you see X-Men First Class? What did you think of it? Comment below, let me know. And if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more. Let's dance!